Good morning from Saginaw Soccer Complex here. It's the MSYSA State Cup Finals, and you're watching it live on the National Soccer Network. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. It's going to be a good one. The Nationals, MACOMB Select 06 taking on SALINE FC 07. And Dan, I'm excited for another State Cup edition. What do you think?
We had a fun time last October out in Brighton, Michigan at the Legacy Sports Center. Now we're up here in Saginaw, Michigan. It should be a long couple of days, but expecting some great matches. If you remember last fall, there were a multitude of games that went to double overtime and shootouts. We'll have the same type of games here Saturday and Sunday. Time will tell, but we're expecting a great match here in round number one of this two-day marathon.
We will take a moment here. This is in honor of Rob Ruda, a referee who passed away tragically here a week ago. Moment of silence there for referee Rob Ruda. And again, we talked about it quite a bit, Dan, throughout last week, and how important he was here to the state of Michigan. We will have be able to bring both feeds into you today here on our station here. We'll have a look there. This is a live look at the other matchup taking place over across the way, the state final. So that matchup, Michigan Wolves and the Michigan Stars Academy. So we can pull in both feeds here today to show you what's going on there. And Dan, again, it's 48 degrees out here on the last day of May.
Super Saturday, as we call it in the media, one of the busiest days of sports in the entire country. When you look at youth sports, high school sports, pro, amateur sports, it is an incredible day of activity. And sites like this around the country are plenty some. Here we are in Saginaw, Michigan for the MSYSA State Cup Finals. Over 200 youth clubs for soccer alone in the state of Michigan. Some of these clubs sent their teams in a variety of brackets, group stage and then brackets, to get to this stage here today.
SALINE will be in their black kits going right to left on your screen. The Nationals will be in their white and blue kits, and they're going left to right. And here we go, officially underway here on this Saturday morning, May the 31st, MSYSA State Cup Finals underway here today. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat, happy to have you along wherever you're watching here on this Saturday morning. We're live on National Soccer Network on YouTube and Roku, as well as the MSYSA State YouTube channel. Ball into the 18, and that one's cleared away.
You look at SALINE 6-0-0 thus far in the State Cup tournament. We've got a 37-5 scoring edge thus far. Defeated the Bay Area Soccer Association out of the Bay City area 3-2 in the quarterfinals. And edge Force SC 7-1 in the semifinals here 2 weekends ago.
This ball makes its way out over on the near side. Beautiful morning, though, really. I mean, you look at it, Dan, the sun is peeking out. It seems to be nice. Hey, it's better than the latter. Michigan can give you kind of a lot of that.
I have been out and about on this particular weekend many times in my career where it is 85, 90, at soccer games, at like a state track final where it is brutal out on the turf and track. The heat index can get kind of crazy, but a little bit cooler here this week. But those temperatures are coming. This upcoming week, they're talking about temps on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday being in the mid to upper 80s. So summer is just around the corner, literally.
So ball is thrown in on that far side. It's put into the 18. Weren't told who the goaltender was for Saline. I believe Benjamin Madronja is in the goal for the Nationals. Take a look at their team questionnaires, Dan. They have a lot of information provided to us. We don't get a lot of information typically from teams, but this one I seem to see quite a bit of detail here in regards to both these teams.
Well, Saline is coached by Lee Rumbold, who is also the girls' high school coach at Saline High School, which is undefeated, and they just won a district championship last night. There are several players on Saline FC's roster that do attend Saline High School, so that, remember last fall, the prep season, Saline got to the Division I Final Four. Several of these kids playing on that side, so this group is used to playing with one another. When you have over half your team from one high school on a club team, that chemistry is there all year round.
Ball on the near side here. Sardar Muhammad was there on the ball. Now into Muhammad again. Goalkeeper, by the way, is Eric Friedholm for Saline. As this ball makes its way into the 18, Friedholm will come up with it, and he'll throw it out that far side right away. Ball now up this near side. Zanarski.
Take a look at the Nationals. MACOMB, black side, 26-5 scoring edge. They're also undefeated at 6-0-0 in the state tournament. This is another quality team that has had some great battles this season. They're also in first place in the Great Lakes Premier League at 6-0.
Oh, look at this.
In the regular season.
Loose ball there. Zachary Hessler was there for Saline. There has to be a winner here today as a referee blows for the first foul here of the morning. This is the first of 48 games that we'll be producing here on this Saturday, Dan, and it just talks about the growth that we've had here over the years.
These games will take place in around, I believe, 35 different states.
That it will, as this ball played into the 18, ball pops up. Now here comes Saline. Good work dribbling. Well, that's a good run here on this near side by Micah Gray, but they just couldn't find him. This ball played up now. Nationals. It was Zanarski making his way. Oh, that's a good little shove. Referee says we'll keep playing. That looked like an elbow kind of came up there a little bit, Dan.
A little bit kicked up. You hate to see a penalty kick called in a state final. Sometimes it does happen. Now this Nationals MACOMB team, they pulling players from a multitude of high schools in the MACOMB and Oakland areas, mostly MACOMB County.
Ball goes out of play once again.
MACOMB is coached by Chick Shakini.
Ball played into Hessler. Down by top of the 18. Good trailing run there by Bryce Nadig. Settled down by the Nationals. Well, 8 minutes into this one, a little collision. Nothing to show for it quite yet.
Only one shot in this game. Saline had a shot blocked outside the box. That is it. We're now in the 8th minute.
Just can't say enough. It's a beautiful morning here so far in the early going. A lot of day left, though, Dan. A lot of day left. Well, a free kick coming up here. Micah Gray will put this one back in.
Gray, one of those many players on Saline SC's side that does attend Saline High School. Part of that Final Four team last October. High school circuit. He'll serve this in towards the box.
Gray puts this one in right towards the penalty area. Nationals now make their way. Ball, that's a good ball. Playing to the near side, looking for Zanarski, but that's played at back by Vreeland into Eric Friedholm. Friedholm will clear this one up over midfield and head it right back up. Muhammad. He'll get it back.
Freeholm, the goalkeeper, he also plays for Saline High School. His high school coach, Bartley Liddy, mentioned he never had seen a player improve so much over the course of a short high school season. He was one of their goalkeepers on the varsity squad, and that team, I believe, won 22 games last year. They only lost their season opener in a tournament and then a state semifinal double overtime loss to eventual state champ Rochester Adams. So again, you look at their roster and those kids are used to playing each other. There's a lot of players, high school, club soccer. Some of these kids might even play another school sport. There's something to be said about chemistry in sports. You know, sometimes you'll even look at a small, high school or a small local club, and you can say that about a lot of different sports where those kids just used to playing sports together.
Look at this, up that far side. Tracked down by Saline, and now there's a shot by Poole that's blocked. Nothing doing there. That was an awkward-looking attempt.
Yeah. Great defense by MACOMB on that last attack.
This ball comes in, and that's picked up by the goalkeeper for the Nationals. Drona
on the stop for Nationals.
Look at this, as this one is fired and pushed aside. Take another look at that one. It leads to a corner. Poole on this play, getting into the 18, and then a little kick save by Madranja.
Kinley Poole plays over at Ann Arbor Huron High School, just down the road from Saline, about 10 miles away. Huron's been, the last 2 school years, has spent some time in the state rankings, boys soccer side. So again, you're starting to see the parallels where players on these club teams are coming from certain high schools that have done well here the last couple of years.
Into the 18, another kick save, and pushed to side out for corner number 2.
Girona, the goalkeeper, MACOMB, using all parts of his body to keep the ball out of the webbing of the net.
This ball put right back in the mix, and top of the 18. Now, here comes Zanarski. He'll put that to the far side, into the 18. Out will come Friedholm. Might be pronounced Friedholm, Dan. It is F-R-I-D-H-O-L-M. But is it Friedholm? You know how we take things in the English language and we turn them around here in the United States. It's very confusing. You know, it's tomato, right? So this ball makes its way back to Madranja. Appreciate you tuning in here today. It's State Cup Finals weekend. These teams are playing for a chance, fighting for a chance to move on to regionals, where if you could get there, then you give yourself a fighting chance for a national championship. Poole will try to track this one down before it goes out. Unable to do so. Actually does, but then this one will actually end up going out of play and be a goal kick.
Kinley Poole also plays basketball and runs track and field for Ann Arbor Huron. I do believe he qualified for the state finals. He'll be making his way out later this morning to the Grand Rapids area to compete in the state finals in the track meet. So he's fortunate that this game is the first game here on a Saturday morning. He's one of the top 400 meters runners in the state. 2 weekends ago at a regional at Ypsilanti Lincoln, Kinley Poole clocked at 48.26 seconds in the 400. You can see him on that left wing, those long strides, absolute explosive speed, just a great all-around athlete. Again, playing 3 high school sports plus club soccer.
So throwing coming up here for Saline. Taken there by Devin Vreeland. Eight games in total here today up at Saginaw Soccer Complex. You're looking to take a shot. Nope, they'll put this one into the 18. Just too much pace. Talked about how Cheek Cecchini is the head coach of the Nationals. Lee Rumbold is the head coach for Saline.
Rumbold's done a great job, again, both club and high school soccer. But there's a turnover.
Look at this. Yeah, it's Poole now. Poole on his right foot and in! Kinley Poole answers answers here in the 17th. It's 1-0.
Just a little bit misfortune for Nationals. Tried playing that ball out of the back. Poole intercepts it outside the box, weaves through traffic, and about 16 yards out, leaves no doubt, tucking that ball into the back of the net.
Another look at it here. Look at that. Just finds a way to put it past Madranja, and just like that, it's 1-0 here in favor of Saline.
6 total shots, 3 on target. Saline finally takes a 1-0 advantage. They've had a lot of pressure here in the last 10 minutes. (16:33) into this game. Saline FC takes that 1-0 advantage. Their hard work has paid off.
That goal coming in the 18th minute. 17th minute, I apologize. Kinley Poole goes to Huron High School as a junior, part of the Honorable and National Honor Society. Also plays track and basketball. Looking to go to U of M Business School.
Just an amazing athlete, and he's getting it done in the classroom as well. So just a few.
Look at this, another chance here just inside the 18.
Said just a few minutes ago, when this game is over, he'll be heading over to Grand Rapids to compete in the Division I State Track and Field Finals with Ann Arbor Huron High School.
Nationals right now kind of trying to weather this storm, this early storm here from Saline. Well, free kick coming up here, 20 minutes into the game, 45-minute halves in this one. Still 0-0 right across the way. Take a live look here. There's a corner kick taking place, I believe. Just keep an eye on this one. It is a corner. We'll come back to live play. Let's keep an eye on that field. And it is a beauty, Dan, of what we're able to do, right? You talk about this, and for every production company out there across the United States, they can come out and set up cameras and do very similar things to what we can do. But the ability for us to be in a centralized location like we are, to be able to pull this off, to be able to bring in multiple feeds and show the viewer at home what's happening across the way, especially if you're talking about like a semifinal environment where there's 2 games happening at the same time, that'd be like a really cool thing to be able to do. So free kick coming up here for the Nationals.
Dangerous territory, about 20 yards outside the box on that left side. Got to serve this into the mixing bowl to get a shot off.
This ball does come in, headed away, but right back out towards Muhammad. Back in the mix, but Nationals would have been in an offside position had they even attempted to play that ball. Travis Claypool, who's a member of this national side, is committed to Spring Arbor soccer. Vincent Montgomery is also committed to Spring Arbor. Max Sansom is going to join Heidelberg. Josh Ross is a De La Salle State champion. Nolan Viviano committed to Calvin Track. So Nationals have some players going off and playing at the collegiate level here. Now, good look here coming up for Saline.
Talk about Josh Ross at Warren De La Salle. He was a 4-year varsity player, but 2-time All-Stater. He helped De La Salle turn things around. If you remember, just a few years ago, De La Salle was kind of rebuilding. And last year, they made a run to the state semifinals, and this past November, captured the Division II state championship.
Just looking at the high school, Dan, of this roster, right? I'm looking at Saline's, and we talked about that deep run, right? They end up losing in a semifinal match, right? It was at Athens. They lost to the eventual state champion in Rochester Adams, right? And in that game. And you look at this roster from top to bottom. So we're going to go with Caleb Czekanowski, Saline High School. Will Loveland, Saline High School. Graham Gerby, Saline High School. Case Rumsa, Saline High School. Bryce Nadig, Saline High School. Eric Friedholm, Saline High School.
Yep.
Edward Brandauon, Saline High School. Preston Lynn, Saline High School. Micah Gray, Saline High School. We'll keep going here in a second. There's a common theme is ball loose in the 18. It's going to be played back now to Muhammad, who looked to cross this in. He had to get up in the air. It pops out, though. Shot from distance is not even close. Medevec was the one that took that shot. I was just talking about Micah Gray. You got Vreeland. You've got Cahill, Hummel, Ordongerin. You've got Morton, Heisler, Reck, and Higgins. This entire team, except for two players, Dan, Fred Brown and Kinley Poole, are all they go to other schools, Huron High School, and then ultimately Milan. That is an extremely uncommon thing to see. Every single player, basically, from the high school.
Right.
To be fair, I don't think, and there's not a team on earth that would be able to really compete with that. I mean, that's unbelievable.
That's what I was talking about, that camaraderie. They play high school sports together, soccer, basketball, and they're also playing youth club soccer as well. These kids are around each other year-round in school, year-round in practices and games, traveling together. I mean, there is something to be said. You know, sometimes you'll look, like I mentioned earlier, you'll take like a small school, like a small town school or a small town like Christian school where these kids are in the same building K through 12. If they can make up for a lack of sometimes skill when they're just so used to playing with each other. But here today, so this group has proven to be very good in club soccer and high school soccer. And to pick up a Division I caliber athlete from Ann Arbor Huron and Kinley Poole, this is a very dangerous team.
Up that far side. It's 1-0 here in this first half, 25th minute.
You mentioned Zachary Heisler from Saline FC. He's a junior at Saline High School. He's one of the better juniors in the state of Michigan. He was very, very good in that state semifinal against Rochester Adams last October.
First comment of the morning coming in. Sam Leone says Captain Ross. And Lynn Osborne says, commentators, we'd love to hear some about the national players. Well, what I would say is this, is that I was given a book from Saline. I was given a short story from the Nationals. So if that helps kind of enlighten you on how much information we may have about a specific team, we don't have a lot. What I can tell you from the information we have about the Nationals, and we can go from here. They won the semifinals last year, playing down 70% of the game after one of our key defenders was red carded in the first 20 minutes of the game. The team reorganized and won 3-1. Again, we look at some of the players who have been are going off to college. We have a list of those players. Again, we were given limited information about the Nationals, so if you have any information that you'd like to provide to us, we'd love to be able to share that with you at home and the viewer. I just don't have anything to share from any information provided by the Nationals. So, again, we are given a ton of information from Saline.
Nationals.
Yellow card was just issued, though. Not quite sure for what.
Nationals, you look at between regular season play in their conference and the State Cup tournament. This team 6-0-0 in the State Cup, 26-5 scoring edge. They defeated Midland Fusion 2-1 in the quarters, and T-Bay's North Storm 3-1 in the semis. And T-Bay's North Storm has a lot of very good players that play high school ball up in the Traverse City area. They're 6-0-0 with a 19-6 scoring edge in the regular season, currently in first place of that Great Lakes Premier League. Yes, they did lose in this last year's State Cup 5-2 the MFA Revolution out of the Grand Rapids area. Combining the regular season and the state tournament. 45-11 scoring edge for Nationals MACOMB.
Talk about the second goal. Josh Ross state championship performance. The two goal Josh Ross. I apologize, I didn't read that.
Ross was one of the best players on the field in that Warren De La Salle victory last fall. All-state first-team players. Kind of the heart and soul, the engine of that team. Relentless worker for De La Salle.
No, I mean it was a great victory, Dan.
Yeah,
I mean we were there. I mean
he's been impressive. I mean he was absolutely impressive in that run of the Final Four 2 years in a row and state championship last year. So one of the heart and souls of this MACOMB team here in 2025, the undefeated team. I mean, I just went over their stats in the regular season in the State Cup tournament. You look at play. You can see the synergy with MACOMB where these kids are used to winning.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Nationals, as we talk about all the time, Nationals is one of the best overall clubs in the state of Michigan. Their girls' side with the ECNL is one of the top in the country. Their boys' side is phenomenal. I mean, you now have the Union FC MACOMB on the USL League 2 and USLW side, which we are their proud broadcast partners. This ball is shot, but it will not have enough pace to get past Freedholm. And the things that they stand for, the Nationals, right, and what they're trying to accomplish as a club is remarkable. And yes, as we talked about, Dan, we covered the Michigan High School Athletic Association state finals for the boys in the fall. We've done it the previous 2 years where we were able to call those games, for a radio only call. And they were fun, and I remember. Steve Corder, Andrew Corder was a part of that De La Salle side as well. And look at this, is now Poole slots it into the 18, pulls it back, and Micah Gray, he'll fire a shot that goes wide of target, but they're going to say deflected.
This should be the third corner kick of the morning coming up for Saline FC. 30th minute now. Just a few seconds away from crossing into the 31st. Great opportunity coming up for Saline to add to their 1-0 advantage. For anyone who joined us late, 16:33 into the game, or to the 17th minute. Kinley Poole off the steal. Took a couple touches and uncorked a shot from the top of the box from about 16, 17 yards out. That was the game's only goal thus far.
I mean, to be fair, Dan, aside from that goal, there's not much to speak of in regards to offense in this game. I mean, possession's kind of gone both ways. We've seen at times that Saline's been dangerous getting down into the final third, but there hasn't been a lot of activity. You keep track of shots and that whatnot. How many shots have we seen so far in this game?
Saline has a 7-2 overall shots advantage, 3-1 on target, but most of those shots came within about a 3-minute period. They flooded there for a few minutes and got some opportunities. Mastrana, the goalkeeper for National MACOMB, has a pair of saves thus far.
Good chance there for Heisler. This will go out again. So it looks like another corner kick coming up here, Dan. I mean, they've had quite a few of those here in this first half.
Should be number 4 coming up.
We will play 90 minutes here this morning. It seems like a lot, but it goes pretty quick from our position.
There are several players on both these teams that will play at different levels of college soccer here in the fall. So
that ball went all the way through the entire 6-yard box on the corner. Not something as a coach you would not want to see that. You don't want to see a ball bouncing around at the top of the 6 all the way through and nobody touching it. That's not what you'd be looking for, and that's for both sides. You got on the attacking side of that was SALINE trying to get on the end of it, and the Nationals just, again, not getting on it either. So it's not a common thing you see as a ball travels through a corner.
Benjamin Andrano, the goalkeeper for Nationals MACOMB. He's a standout all-conference goalkeeper for Warren Cousino High School here, which competes in the MACOMB area conference.
Up that far side, Zanarski. Oh, he looked to slot it in. He just had to take a shot.
Almost looked like his left foot got caught in the turf a little bit.
Ball put back in the mix. A little touch. This one shot that's deflected. That was Jack Ledoux. And now here comes a corner for the Nationals. Looking to answer here in the 34th minute as we just crossed over into the 34th minute. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. You're watching the MSYSA State Cup Finals on the National Soccer Network and on MSYSA's YouTube channel. You can also tune in here on Roku TV, or you can go on to your Roku TV app, download our National Soccer Network app, and watch to your heart's desire as this ball comes in off the corner, cleared away by the SALINE defender. 48 broadcasts in total here today on the National Soccer Network, including 8 MSYSA State Cup final games. We've got Women's Premier Soccer League, the League for Clubs, USL League 2. Ball in, as well as Midwest Premier League action later tonight. Michigan Stars will play, and the U23s will play against Troy United. And speaking of Stars, here is the Stars right now.
On the youth side.
On the youth side, taking on the Wolves. I believe that game is still 0-0. And they're slightly ahead of us. We'll bring you back in live here to Field 3. Claypool. Net by contact. Good defensive work. Call foul, though. Referee is saying not any more of that from Claypool. All out of play. Throw-in coming up here on this near side.
Travis Claypool actually plays his high school soccer over at Troy Athens High School. Someone I know also played their prep days at Troy Athens.
Yes, I did. It's true. It's Dan stating the truth right there.
Troy Athens girls soccer team won a 3-2 thriller Thursday night in a shootout over our rival Troy.
SALINE looking to find another goal here to end this first half. The Nationals trying to find an equalizer. Ball was settled down by Hummel. To go in transition, ball up that far side. Looking to get into the 18, looking to cross it. It is actually deflected on its way towards Friedholm.
Third save of the morning for Friedholm. 37th minute now. little bit, about 8.5 minutes left here in the first half.
Tracking this one down, Brown. Out comes Aranja. O'Mealy knock it up towards midfield. Foul was called, so restart coming up here for the Nationals. I think it may play quick, but unfortunately, Saline kind of read that well, so they'll settle this down, probably maybe do a direct ball here towards top of the 18, try to create some chaos. Ball comes in, still in the 18, now popped up. Pressure there from Saline. That's going to be a foul. It's a good idea. Heisler was there. Just went to the back of that Nationals defender and stops that promising attack.
Still remember that goal that Heisler scored against Rochester Adams in that state semifinal. Also saw him score a goal, I believe, in the regional finals over Monroe last October. Explosive player on that right side, very fast, very good with the ball on the move. Players that you have Kinley Poole on that left side with his track and field type speed and athleticism, and Heisler on that right side. That back line of MACOMB needs to be alert at all times throughout this game.
Medovic. Actually, I think maybe more pronounced Medvedev. I apologize. I don't believe we were given pronunciations. Muhammad. Look at this. A shot was fired, a save by Friedholm. What a fantastic shot, an equally fantastic save. We'll take another look at it right here.
Perfectly slotted ball right into the top of the box.
It was Ledoux, and he fired a left-footed shot. That was a good opportunity, and the rebound almost finding the back of the net in that far post. And Dan, that's the kind of thing Nationals need right now, right? Even if, hey, it didn't go in. Obviously, you want those to go in, but the momentum from that. Now you're going to see maybe some things pick up here, pick up some steam. Ledoux is trying to get it back. Claypool was there on that far side as this ball makes its way out in the 41st minute.
Nationals has definitely picked up the pace here in the last 8 to 10 minutes. 5 of their 6 shots and 4 shots on target have been in the last 10 minutes of play. They're trying to get that equalizer here before the half.
Claypool played it inside towards Muhammad, and Sansom plays it into the 18, but I say the ball actually went out, it seems like, on this near side.
Jack Ledoux had that last shot here a minute ago for Nationals. He's a Utica High School student.
Now there's a shot that's fired that goes wide. Getting towards the tail end of this first half, 1-0, a 17th minute goal from number 11, Kinley Poole, has been all the difference so far in this one. Not much offense for either side. We saw the best opportunity of the morning coming here just a few moments ago as Ledoux fired a shot and Friedholm makes the save. Still a lot of time left to go in this one, Dan, as
both teams have attempted 7 shots, with Nationals 4-3 with shots on frame and Saline 4-2 on corners. But in terms of like incredible scoring chances, those have been at a minimum in this game. There's been shots from distance, you know, rollers or hoppers to the goalkeepers or just wide of target. Friedholm right there, the goalkeeper for Saline, has made a couple of great saves and help his team maintain its 1-0 advantage. We are now in the 43rd, just seconds away from crossing into the 44th, so tail end of this first half. Does National MACOMB have enough in the tank to get an equalizer here before the break?
Look there at far side. Montgomery was last one to touch that ball for the Nationals as it made its way out. Ball is played in. Look at this. A little touch. Just can't settle it down. I believe that was Fred Brown. Just couldn't collect that pass. He was wide open.
I notice they subbed Kinley Poole out again. He needs to depart for Grand Rapids for the Division I state track and field finals on the high school side. I don't know if he's already left or just been subbed out of the game.
Officially in the 45th minute. Another game between the Stars and the Wolves is at halftime. It's goose eggs. Don't expect to see much stoppage time here, Dan, from in this first half.
Just one yellow card and one goal in the first half. No prolonging injury timeouts, so just officially crossing the stoppage time here about 5 seconds ago.
Long ball played up this near side. Good battle into the 18. Ooh, it's a hard tackle, but that will end up going out for a corner kick. So an opportunity here in the waning moments of this first half here for the Nationals. It was Claypool who was in on the play. So here comes the corner. Ball is played in. Ooh, a bicycle kick attempt. Just couldn't get around on it. And that will wrap up this first half. I think actually, no, they're going to say it was maybe a dangerous play. I think they're saying it was a dangerous play. So the fact that the referee has his hand up was either a sign of it was dangerous, offside, but I don't know how it'd be offside. But either way, that will end up this first half.
It was funny, a few seconds ago, the way the players were walking and the fans were clapping, you would have thought, well, the half is over. But the referee allowed one more play, one more free kick, and then blows his whistle 10 seconds later. So look up on that scoreboard. That's where we stand. Saline 1-0. 17th minute goal.
17th minute goal. It's 1-0 here. A look at this first opportunity from Poole. Good save by Madrangja. And then here's the goal. 17th minute. Cuts it back on his right foot and puts that one in the back of the net. And then here, this opportunity from the Nationals. Ledoux, a left footer. Big save from Friedholm, and that is where this first half will come to an end. 45 minutes down. 45 minutes to go. Will Saline hold off? Come away with the state championship? Will it be the Nationals? We'll find out after this.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Whether you're a beginner coach or a seasoned professional, one thing remains the same: the passion to teach and inspire the next generation of players. Now imagine a place where you could share your coaching knowledge, connect with others, and create a lasting impact. Welcome to the ultimate coaching community, where coaches from all levels can create and share their own courses. Whether you have years of experience or you're just getting started, this is your chance to make your voice heard. Create your own personalized courses, share drills, strategies, and tips, and watch as your knowledge reaches coaches from all corners of the soccer world. With a platform designed for sharing, learning, and growing, you're not just teaching the game, you're creating a community of like-minded coaches, all striving to be the best they can be. Together, we'll elevate the game and support one another to be better, stronger coaches.
The 2025 UDM Boys Summer College Prospect ID Camp is designed for field players and goalkeepers seeking exposure to college coaches, professional training sessions, competitive matches, and insight into the college soccer environment. Directed by the UDM men's soccer staff, this camp is ideal for players serious about advancing their soccer careers. On July 26th and 27th, the camp becomes a perfect platform for aspiring athletes to showcase their talent and commitment. For more information and to register, visit DetroitMercySoccerCamps.com.
The Flint City Bucks are Michigan's top soccer franchise with 4 national championships, 9 conference titles, and 15 Great Lakes Division titles. They have produced 107 players for Major League Soccer, and they focus on attracting top talent and shaping soccer's future. Michigan Bucks Academy joins MLS Next new competition tier starting in September of 2025. This offers elevated levels of play and flexibility for high school participation. The Academy will provide premier development, high-performance training, and exposure to scouts through regional tournaments and MLS Next events. For more information on tryouts, training programs, and key updates as we prepare for our first season in MLS Next new tier, visit MichiganBucksAcademy.com.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Welcome back here, Saginaw Soccer Complex. MSYSA State Cup Finals. The Nationals 06 and the SALINE 07 getting ready to start this second half. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickred. Happy to have you along wherever you're watching, near and far. Moments away from this second half. Right now, it's just a 17th minute goal from Kinley Poole is all the difference so far in this one. And talked about how a beautiful day it was here. And it is. We'll take a look at the live weather here in a moment. We wait for this second half to get underway.
Kinley Poole had that go-ahead goal for Saline in the first half. Looking up here during the halftime break, he is part of Ann Arbor Huron's 1,600-meter relay. That's a 4x4. They're seated second at the state finals today out in Grand Rapids, second to Oak Park. They're in the fast heat. They'll be late this afternoon, but Kinley Poole also qualified for the 200 meters and the 400 meters, one of the top 8 seeds in those two races.
Mount Montgomery will try to fire a shot after that collision.
So Poole had the goal earlier. I believe he has already departed for Grand Rapids to compete in the high school Division I track and field finals.
I want to talk about the proud sponsors of the MSYSA. They're right there on the bottom of your right screen there. You've seen Dick's Sporting Goods, Under Armour, Wilson as this ball is played into the 18. Mojo. Muhammad makes his way in. Good battle from him. This ball finally kind of makes its way out. Amazon Smile. Nothing better on a Saturday morning than soccer and coffee, Dan. But Dan, you don't like coffee, so I guess for you it doesn't really count.
But it still is Super Saturday. If you can't get your fill of sports on this particular day, this particular weekend in the state of Michigan, then I don't know what's wrong with you. There's so much going on out there. It's just an incredible weekend. The temperatures aren't blazing hot like they have been in recent years on this weekend, so players won't be exhausted. You know, trying to run around a soccer pitch for 90-plus minutes, or running in a track and field finals, or playing another sport, playing a doubleheader of baseball on a day like this. Again, I mentioned early in the first half, it's been years. Temps have been in the upper 80s, low 90s on a weekend like this.
Deep ball played into the 18. Friedholm is there to make the grab. Talk about this. First off, I think it's kind of, I always say it's odd as a goalkeeper, as a former goalkeeper myself, that goalkeepers pick numbers that are not that 0 or 1, right? I've always found that to be, again, because that's how I grew up playing. It was like you were 0-0, you were 1, you were, or 0, right? It was like those three options. This ball is played into the 18. Friedholm wears that number 8. So, again, not your traditional goalkeeper number. If you stick on the flip side, Benjamin Mandrangea, he wears the 0. I would like to just start pooling goalkeepers. You know, you get to like the 99, that might make some sense, right? It's a number that no one typically picks, but But then you look on the other flip side, on the Nationals, Shai Marlat, right? He wears number 78. Like what is 78? Is that like a favorite number? I would love to ask players this question, because it's like, remember growing up, Dan, it was 0 to 25, right? You had a 0 to 25. There wasn't a 37. There wasn't a 49, right? We see Ledoux 49. We see Bashir Naiji, he's got 47. So it's like,
I mentioned this. I want to talk just about goalkeepers. I just had this conversation a couple weeks ago with a coach. And I said, it used to be a time where goalkeepers wore 1, 0, or 00. If you carry 3 goalkeepers on your roster, whatever level of soccer it is, that's what you went with. Now I'm looking at rosters, in high school, youth club, the amateur pre-professional soccer space, and the goalkeeper's wearing 99 or 1 or 48. And it's like, okay, why? You're right. What is their significance? Because I can't imagine these teams have retired all their numbers.
No, I think it's a question we should probably be asking more of our players. Like, why? What the evolvement, so to speak, right, of number selection at these levels, because you're right, the players at the club level are picking their jersey numbers. It's not, I'm assuming when they go to register, they're like, oh, what number do you want? I want number 27, and so, 18's available. But I would imagine that's why you see these just different numbers. I know we're talking about this in a state final, but I think it's an interesting conversation to have as to why players are picking the numbers, and it could be more of a, hey, there's a significant importance to it, right? So maybe it's a date, maybe it's a player who played before you, either professionally or domestically or internationally. So it's always interesting to kind of see why you would do that. As Montgomery now has the ball. Talk about this. 8 games here today for the Michigan State Youth Soccer Association State Cup Finals in Saginaw. We are currently on field 3. The Michigan Wolves Michigan Stars game is currently 0-0 right now next door at field 6. That is the first set of games here today. We've got 3 more sets. So 2 more coming up here at 11, 2 more at 1:30, and then 2 more at 4 p.m. We'll be back at it again tomorrow morning at 8:30, 11, and 1:30 as we'll finish up the State Cup Finals. 14 games in total this weekend. We did the State Cup Finals for the girls' side back in the fall. Did that at Legacy Sports Center in Brighton. There was 10 games in total over 2 days, so a little bit more here this go-around. And we're in our first year here with this new contract with the Michigan State Youth Soccer Association, being able to provide what we believe to be a higher level of quality of broadcast than the years before. And we continue to try to strive to do this. This ball is played in. Friedholm will make the grab.
So I was pulling up the all-state teams from last fall for boys soccer, and you look at some players in this game. We already talked about Josh Ross, Warrendale Sal Sr., one of the top players from MACOMB. He was all-state first team the last 2 years. But on the all-state list, Kinley Poole, Ann Arbor Huron, the goal scorer for Saline, was honorable mention all-state. So was Eric Friedholm, the goalkeeper who attends Saline High School. He was also honorable mention all-state. Zach Heisler was all-state third team. He's Saline Jr. He's one of the forwards up top here today for Saline FC. And then Jackson Phillip, the center back for Saline FC. All-state second team center back for Saline High School. So
look at this, Ledoux now. Ledoux on his left foot. That one's blocked. The ball makes its way to Montgomery, who will look to take a shot, and Friedholm will just cover it up right there at the near side.
So a pair of saves to start the second half for Friedholm. Standing tall between the pipes for Saline FC. There is Kinley Poole back in the game, so he has not yet departed for Grand Rapids. Which means I assume he is scratched from the prelims of the 200-meter dash, because those will be taking place here in the next couple hours out in Grand Rapids. But he is a top 8 seed in the 400. His 1,600-meter relay team for Ann Arbor Huron seeded second, as I mentioned here a few minutes ago. That race won't be run until the late stages of this afternoon. So busy day for Mr. Poole.
Ball makes its way into the 18. Friedholm will be right there to pick it up.
But I'm sure he's not the only one in the state of Michigan that is playing a youth sport and a high school sport and a different sport on the same day. You know, depending on what state you're in. The high school state tournaments are going on right now or recently completed. You know, states like Georgia and Arizona, they just finished their spring seasons for high school sports.
Ball pushed out wide, looking for Montgomery. He almost got there, and this one now cleared away. Current look at the current score across the way. 0-0 is still the score in that one, as we're 1-0 here. 17th minute goal from Kinley Poole. We talk about all the difference right now. And now the current poll on the National Soccer Network YouTube channel. 11 votes have come in so far. 91% of you have the Nationals winning this game. 9% have Saline. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. We've had engagement from all around the world. We know that for some of you, you can't make it out to Saginaw today, so you're calling. Now you're sitting in your living room. You're watching this game maybe on the porch with a nice cup of coffee. All that sounds wonderful, by the way. Looking out, maybe on one of those nice swings, on the front porch, right? Got your iPad out, maybe just a cup of coffee, enjoying the beautiful morning and watching some soccer along the way.
Just a minute ago, Vincent Montgomery had a shot for Nationals MACOMB. Montgomery, senior at Port Huron Northern, just graduated here a couple days ago for the Husky. He was an all-league and all-district forward last fall for Port Huron Northern, so another player reaping in some postseason honors in the high school circuit.
Viviano there was trying to kind of weave through those defenders for Saline SC, unable to do so. Poole looked to go inside, was looking for Micah Gray. Ball over the top, looking for Claypool. Now Claypool comes in. Ball's loose and in! The Nationals equalize in the 58th. Pointing to the camera. He's ready for the pros. We'll take a look right here. Actually, we did not have that. We'll pull that one back in a moment.
I know Claypool kind of served that ball through traffic. Just trying to catch a jersey number of the man celebrating that goal.
So it's 1-1 now here. And the equalizer, the Nationals in this second half were kind of, again, we're showing more offense than in the first. They seem to be a little bit more organized here to start this second half.
You can see it in the last 10 minutes of the first half. They started to collect some shots, some opportunities. 3-0 in terms of overall shots. You get in the second half, all three shots on target, and finally that third shot was the equalizer in the 58th.
Still waiting. Ball is up that far side. Just had an issue with our instant replay. I am trying to work on getting that solved here right now, so. play on that far side.
Now in the 60th minute, just getting ready to cross over to the 61st. Plenty of time, but this game has been equalized here just a couple minutes ago. Saline SC took a 1-0 advantage in the first half, and National MACOMB tied it up. There's a
look
shot.
At that shot that goes up. I don't know if he got a touch on it or not. No, he did not.
Ball kind of bounced through in the box. Saline got a shot off over that crossbar, trying to go back up after just conceding a goal here about 2.5 minutes ago. Looking at our YouTube poll today, Jonathan. 77% of the fans say that Nationals MACOMB will win this game. 23% are picking Saline.
I did get the replay here. Here it comes. Took me a moment. I apologize. It was scored by none other than Joshua Ross, who put this in the back of the net to make it 1-1. So Ross scored 2 goals in the state championship for De La Salle, getting 1 here in this state championship. So Josh Ross knows how to show up in big-time games.
That was kind of a nice chip cross by Claypool to get that ball in the Ross. Ross weaved through traffic's kind of a sliding shot. Put that in the back of the net, but the Nationals on the move once again. Set piece about 40 yards out on the left side.
Muhammad will put this one up high towards that back post. Looking to come back across, and ultimately that will go out. As Sam Leone says, what did I say? Captain Ross at his finest.
Yep. Sardar Mohammed, who just took that set piece for Nationals MACOMB, he also plays for Warren Cuzno, where Benjamin Madrana, the goalkeeper for National MACOMB. So those two are high school teammates at Warren Cuzno, teammates here today for their club team as well. Cuzno, kind of a quality team here the last 4 or 5 high school years. It's a handful of players of the college ranks. Won a district here, I believe, in the fall of 2023, which was our, I believe, first district in school history, and those 2 players were part of that championship for Warren Cuzno. So a pair of players getting it done on the high school and youth side as well.
If you're just joining us, a goal in the 17th minute by Kinley Poole gave the Saline FC a 1-0 lead as Muhammad tried a little back heel. Didn't go through. And then here just a few moments ago, back in the 58th minute, it was number 22, Joshua Ross for the Nationals, who found the equalizer. And that's where things stand in this state championship final. This ball comes in. Remember, there has to be a winner here today, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Muhammad looks to put it across. Doesn't go.
Saline was a very dangerous team in the about first 30 minutes of this contest. They've cooled off a little bit on the offensive end of the field. Put together a MSYSA State Cup preview story on the NationalSoccerNetwork.com last night. Kind of looking at each of the 28 teams and what they've been able to do here this spring, regular season in the State Cup tournament.
Look at this now. His ball shot fired, freed home. Makes the save.
So 7th save of the morning for Friedholm. But Nationals MACOMB able to get the equalizer here in the second half. They've had a 4-1 shots advantage in the second half as we're now in the 66th. 4-0 with shots on frame. This game is still tied.
So a free kick coming up here for the Nationals. Ball put into the 18. Well, that's not a bad ball towards that near post. That's cleared away by SALINE. We'll see a throw in the 67th minute. More votes have come in now as the Nationals find that equalizer.
So Saline's Kinley Poole, 1-0 goal, 17th minute. The Nationals tied it up in the 58th. Travis Claypool sent the ball over to Josh Rosh. A sliding shot, puts it in the back of the net. That's where we stand up here on the scoreboard. We just crossed into the 68th minute. Just about 23 minutes left in this contest.
Up over midfield. Sansom playing it long. Friedholm will come out.
Not much you can do with that type of play. Just sending it long into the box. Just one player making a run against a goalkeeper and 3 defenders. Not a lot of space to.
Oh, that was a good look from Ross, trying to find I believe Ledoux. So far, a pretty clean game, Dan. Nothing really to mention, right? I know there was one yellow card, but I don't think that was for a foul. I believe that was more
Likely language.
probably.
Yeah, just 12 combined fouls between these two sides here this morning. No, like, major, like, takedowns or blades or anything significant. Nationals continue to dominate the second half here.
Well, that ball almost went like a hit off the arm, maybe. For SALINE.
Kind of kicked up, bounced near that area. If it didn't go off the arm, went off the hip, but it did look like from our angle. Might have went off the arm just a tad.
Ball makes its way to Colbiz.
Nationals doing a good job, a little bit of possession ball here in the second half. You talk about the speed up top. We'll pull Heisler and Brown for SALINE. They're not effective if they're not getting the ball. And Nationals have definitely picked it up at the tail end of the first half, and here in the second half, in terms of overall possession and controlling the tempo of this game, that takes Saline FC out of their game. So we'll see if either team makes any type of adjustment here down the stretch. We're now in the 70th minute, just a few seconds away from crossing into the 71st. Saline FC, Nationals MACOMB, a 1-1 draw here in the U18-19 Boys Premier State Cup Final. Saginaw Township Soccer Complex, west of Saginaw, Michigan.
We'll throw one here on the near side.
Shot put on, Chamberlain on the save.
The ball kind of bounced off players from both teams. Should be a goal kick, though.
Right at midfield. That's a good ball. Looking for a Poole, but Ranja was there to pick it up. Throw it out right away, but unable to keep that one on was Inarski.
You can see how quickly Zach Heisler got the ball, moved through traffic, slided the ball over to that left side.
Our throw to the near side, Zinarski. So just about 18 minutes to go in regulation. Ball back to Friedholm. Continue to move this around, and here comes Saline. Poole. Down by the end line, can keep it on. He tries to cross it in, last touched off the Nationals.
Poole has stuck around for the second half. And we mentioned a couple times before, he's heading over to Grand Rapids high school track and field finals after this game. He'll compete for Ann Arbor Huron High School, but this is the first corner kick of the second half. Coming up for Saline, they did have 4 in that first half. Most came in the first 30 minutes where Saline SC kind of dominated a lot of the play, but here in the second half, Nationals MACOMB has had more of the edge.
Look at this. The ball comes in off that corner. Just missed Heisler.
Heisler's about 6'2". He just missed that one. If it was a couple inches lower, might have been able to redirect that towards the framework. National MACOMB escaping danger on that corner kick. They look to build it out of the back. Much better job here in the second half. Their possession game.
There's Ledoux. Good battle. I remember the fall, Dan, very vividly. Legends FC, right? Like it's our Legacy Center, right? And what we experienced there. And I remember it very vividly, Dan, very vividly. That's all I'm going to say. They say if you speak it out into existence, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to like stop the curse. But I don't want to say anything at this point. So I just going to say I remember it very vividly. A great start to our weekend as this ball's played into the 18, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
I know exactly where you're going. I'm thinking about a multitude of games that took place that weekend. Out in Brighton, Michigan. I think about the many games I saw in the high school season as well. Certain common things about a lot of those youth club and high school games that we sat through last fall during October, November. But I won't say the reasons. So that's the 8th foul against Saline, setting up National MACOMB with a set piece just about 5 yards inside midfield in the 76th minute now.
All comes in. Friedholm goes up. He'll make the grab.
We talked about earlier in the game, John, about a few players on this field playing, college soccer, and a couple of those players are going to play at the NAIA level. I had a conversation with earlier this spring with an NCAA Division I college soccer coach, and we talked about that just because an athlete signs to play sports is not an NCAA Division I school doesn't mean they're not any good, doesn't mean their teams aren't any good. Because you look at Division II, Division III, NAIA, Christian college, junior college, whatever the case may be, and there's some very, very good teams that play at the lower levels of college sports. And I think more and more athletes are starting to realize that they can go in a lower division, but they can also get more playing time at a younger age at the college level by choosing to go that route. So that was the 8th save of the morning for Eric Friedholm for Saline.
The shot fired from distance will make its way into the parking lot and hit a 2022 Camry.
You sound like what Ernie Harwell used to call Major League Baseball for the Detroit Tigers. And a fan from Granville, Michigan, caught that foul ball. Ernie Harwell, one of the best voices in sports that I can remember. You look across the media, the broadcast world for TV and radio, some of the iconic voices we've been able to listen to, regardless of sport, regardless of what level, but I always come to like Al Michaels. I was a little kid in 1980 where the U.S. hockey team ended up upsetting the Soviet Union in the semifinals, went on to win the gold medal in the 1980 Olympic Games. Yes, I'm dating myself. Al Michaels. I can still hear him calling. He did Monday Night Football for years for ABC. And
that shot fired. Friedholm comes up with the save. Ledoux is the one that fired the shot.
6-1 in total shots here in the second half. 6-0 with shots on frame in favor of the Nationals MACOMB side. And they were able to tie the game up in the 58th, courtesy of a goal by Josh Ross. They've been the far more aggressive team here in the second half of play as we're now in the 80th minute. It's a little less than 11 minutes left. Regulation here today at the Saginaw Township Soccer Complex, west of Saginaw, Michigan. Not too far from the heart of the state. You look at that Lower Peninsula, I would say Mount Pleasant's kind of like the middle of the Lower Peninsula.
All into the 18.
We are officially crossed into the 81st minute. Ashland MACOMB 1, Saline FC 1.
I don't want to talk about it, Dan.
Just an epic battle, as you would expect in a state final match.
I mean, if you're a viewer, what do you love it, right? I mean, I would imagine. I mean, if you're rooting for a team and you got some skin in the game, you're probably like on your and pins and needles. You're sitting on the edge of your chair right now, going, "Hey, 10 minutes left here. Let's get one through here. Let's get on and whatnot." If Kinley Poole, as you talked about, wants to actually play or go run in track and field today, this game would have to end sooner than later. Ball's played in. Mandrandra is right there. Heisler was there at the same time. I mean, as a former referee, I thoroughly love going into extra time. I very much did. Because you never got a chance to do it. Look at this. This ball makes its way in, and Mandrandra comes out. It actually hits off his leg and goes out for a corner kick.
That was the first save of the day for Mandrandra. Had to come back out in the corner of the box. Corner kick number 2 in the second half coming up for Saline FC. Just 2 shots and 1 on frame here in the second half for Saline, but they're trying to find a way to get that goal-ahead goal. They were up 1-0 at the half, conceded a goal here a few minutes ago.
Ball comes in, almost finds its way in the back of the net, the near post. That was just...
The defender kind of leaned into that ball. It looked like it would have hit the outside of that goal post or just been out of play. Kind of leaned into it and knocked it out of bounds, so Saline gets a second chance.
This ball comes in. The foul has been called.
That's the 9th foul of the game against Saline SC, now in the 83rd minute.
So a free kick coming up here.
No whistle blown, and yes, we do. It's going to be a foul, looks like.
Ball played into the 18, and Friedholm is there. So free kick coming up here, 83rd minute. Ball comes in into the 18. Oh, maybe miscommunication there, possibly between Mandrandra and the defender.
Remember, Saline scored their goal off a steal there in the 17th minute. They do have a ton of speed up top again with Brown, Heisler, and Poole. You do not want to give one of those 3 players a chance to swipe up a pass and go 1v1 on the goalkeeper. There's not a player on the field faster than Kinley Poole up top. Now in the 85th minute, just crossed over here a few seconds ago. Turned out to be a rainy morning at 6 o'clock this morning. Clouds are starting to, clear up here across the state of Michigan. Temperatures are starting to warm up. He was trying to slot that ball through on that left side, but MACOMB's defense has played very good in this game. They have really started to limit those chances in the end of the first half and here in the second half for SALINE.
The first game of the morning is heading into extra time. Over there, the Michigan Stars and Michigan Wolves.
That's the U19 division.
'86th minute. 1-1 here on field number 3. Ball played. Wilkie. Muhammad loses the ball. Now here comes SALINE in transition. Looking to go through the middle. It's a good idea from Micah Gray. And now Muhammad here on the near side. Ledoux. Good ball back into Muhammad. Good defensive play. One right back by Muhammad. That's great work. Wilkie.
Starting to see teams turn the ball over a little bit more here in the late stages of the second half. A little bit of fatigue settling in.
Fatigue. It's early in the morning, Dan.
Early in the morning.
No fatigue as here comes SALINE. Pull. That will end up going out. Last touched off Poole. Good defensive work. That was Max Sansom.
Max Sampson and the rest of this MACOMB Nationals defense really locked down SALINE's high-powered offense and speed up top. So we officially cross into the 88th minute, so just under 3 minutes left plus stoppage time here at the second half. Will either team find enough in the tank to get a go-ahead goal here late?
Again, that Michigan Wolves, Michigan Stars game 0-0 heading into extra time.
Noah Drury on the call of that match. The National Soccer Network. Had the pleasure of calling a multitude of games at different levels of the soccer pyramid with Mr. Noah Drury here on NSN here in the last year.
Up this near side. Vedic plays it in. Now Muhammad. That's a heavy first touch. Maybe a cleaner touch. He might have been able to get a shot off there. And Vedic. Met by contact. Now a shot fired from Muhammad. Kind of a no-look shot that goes wide and high. 89th minute. Shout out to our fantastic production team here today. So I would say almost, I was going to say 2 down, but not yet, Dan, right? It's 3 9/8, right? In the first one. And so we are officially now in the 90th minute. Ball put back in by Tripp. Ball makes its way to Friedholm. And nice little slide into second base.
Yeah, a little bit of a deflection back towards the Goalkeeper in Friedholm, I don't think he was expecting that ball to skip off a defender's head towards his way, but he was there to scoop up that ball.
Poole goes down. Now Ross. Last touched. Off of Stephen Reck from Saline.
We've officially crossed into stoppage time here at the end of the second half. 1-1. Nationals MACOMB.
Oh my goodness, that one, the wind.
Just kind of
I
bounced.
don't know, it just, that was, but a foul was called. But just the way that kind of played out, that was a very interesting, I got to replay that. That was a very interesting play. Look at this ball.
It's just like a stride inside midfield. It bounces in the middle of the box.
And obviously it went wide of goal, but wow, that was an interesting.
I've seen it at all levels of soccer. I've seen it on TV and YouTube where someone scores a goal in a weird fashion like that, where just a shot or a cross from distance is sent into the box. The ball will, get caught up in the wind and bounce over a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper's too far off his line. So that was a dangerous play. If you are Saline, you do not want to give up a goal in stoppage time when the game tied 1 apiece.
Pull up that far side. Good. Pool's not happy. Fans not happy. Hands go up in the air like you just don't care. Right, Dan?
Yep. You are now trying to record a remix of an old song.
Good battle, though, between Poole and Sansom on that far side. Sansom's done a good job this second half of keeping Poole in check. Ledoux.
You don't necessarily hear a lot about outside marking backs, the defenders on the wings. But here today, I will comment again that National MACOMB's defense has been great, especially in the last 60 minutes or so. They have been feisty, marking up Saline's forwards, been able to shut them down. Saline went up 1-0 in the 17th minute. Nationals tied it up in the 58th. Now we are headed to what we like to call stoppage time.
Stoppage time. It's extra time.
Extra time.
Josh Ross getting in on the action, making it 1-1. That is the goal that sent this into extra time. We'll be back here to start the next aspect of this match. 90 minutes down, 30 minutes to go. Who's going to win the state championship in the 2019 age group? We'll find out after this.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Whether you're a beginner coach or a seasoned professional, one thing remains the same: the passion to teach and inspire the next generation of players. Now imagine a place where you could share your coaching knowledge, connect with others, and create a lasting impact. Welcome to the ultimate coaching community, where coaches from all levels can create and share their own courses. Whether you have years of experience or you're just getting started, this is your chance to make your voice heard. Create your own personalized courses, share drills, strategies, and tips, and watch as your knowledge reaches coaches from all corners of the soccer world. With a platform designed for sharing, learning, and growing, you're not just teaching the game, you're creating a community of like-minded coaches, all striving to be the best they can be. Together, we'll elevate the game and support one another to be better, stronger coaches. Welcome back here into Saginaw Soccer Complex in Saginaw, Michigan. We are headed to extra time as the meeting of the minds there at midfield is. We're excited to have you along wherever you're watching here today. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. How did we get here? It's a great question. Let's take a look right here. We're gonna show you how we got here. I think it's always important to kind of show how we got here. Here's the first one. Kinsley Poole on the right foot. Just like that. And then just a great ball over the top. Ledoux, Claypool, and then Ross with the finish. And that is how we got here. And watch I think the way that Ross just kind of like comes right towards the camera and is like points up there and says,
he's been here before.
How do you do?
I had a chance to interview Josh Ross after that state championship with Warren De La Salle last fall on the high school Division II side. Very energetic young man. He is a proven winner. He has been one of the top players in this game here in the U18, U19 Boys Premier Division State Cup Final. The way this game started, Saline had more of the better chances in the first 30 minutes of the match. But now after 90 minutes, Nationals call 14-9 in total shots. 10-4 with shots on frame. Saline does have a 7-2 advantage on corner kicks. But Benjamin Madrana, the goalkeeper for Nationals, has 3 saves. Eric Friedholm, Saline FC, has 9 stops. The defenses in this game have been very good. Thus far, we'll see. Will there be a star in the making here in overtime?
Appreciate you tuning in wherever you're watching. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Sticker at Saline FC in their black kits going right to left on your screen. The Nationals in their white and blue kits going left to right. We are live here at the Saginaw Soccer Complex in Saginaw, Michigan, the home of the MSYSA State Cups since I want to say the 1970s. I mean, they have been here a long time. I know that I played here many times in State Cup. I know that a lot of you have played here. They've had regionals here up in Saginaw over the years, so this has been a fantastic home for youth soccer in this state. All natural grass fields, which is hard to come by these days, as most, I'm assuming, these players are used to playing on some form of turf environment, whether that be an indoor turf environment or a high school turf environment. Is Ledoux looks to go over the top. It's a great ball, a one-time shot that goes wide.
Yeah, even a lot of these parks that they're building nowadays, they will have turf fields outside, depending on what part of the country. So it is a period of adapting, because you may play a game on a Wednesday at any level of soccer on a turf field, and then on a Saturday or Sunday you're out on a grass field, so you have to get accustomed to making those types of switch. The ball will move at different paces. If there's been a lot of bad weather in the previous week, sometimes those grass fields will be properly irrigated, sometimes they're not.
Takes the shot. Oh, it bounces over Rockwood for a goal in extra time.
Well, look at this. A goal was just scored across the way.
That one just took a weird bounce.
Don't necessarily have the replay, but I can move it into there. Here's a look. That one takes a weird bounce.
Michigan
Oh,
Stars up
goodness.
1-0 in the U19 division in overtime.
It took a weird bounce, as they said.
I just said, will there be a star here in overtime in this game? We already had one in extra time over in the U15 division.
Guess that is a byproduct of the natural grass. It might hit off the head of a sprinkler or a rock and make its way in the back of the net. So, but it does seem more natural, right, when it does that?
So now 3 minutes in the stoppage time. We just crossed into the 94th minute. th minute goal for Kinley Poole of Saline. 58th minute goal for Josh Rosh of Nationals MACOMB. Been a lot of shots in this game. Not a ton of incredible shots. Both goalkeepers have had to make a couple of good saves here in this game. Defense has been very good. You have had to earn some of your shots. A pair of high-scoring, undefeated teams here. One will walk off the turf with a State Cup trophy and state title. The other will walk off as the runner-up and a first defeat of the 2025 spring season. Of course, the winner will get an automatic bid for the Midwest Regionals in the Kansas City area here at the end of June.
95th minute. Well, 15 minutes of extra time on either side. There's no golden goals, so we are going to play these out in their entirety. The Stars had that 1-0 lead.
Simons falls down on the ground.
There you can see a baseball tournament being played across the street there off to your left side. Turned out to be a beautiful day to be outside for whatever sport that you choose. We're glad you chose us at the National Soccer Network to be part of this incredible busy weekend. Michigan State Youth Soccer Association State Cup Finals, 14 matches, let alone I believe over 100 games across the country at different levels of soccer on NSN this weekend on our YouTube and Roku TV channels.
This Poole, last touched off of Nicholas Kolbitz.
Should be a corner kick. I believe Poole kind of punched that off a defender.
This ball comes in towards that near post and nothing doing.
'97th minute now. Saline had the first corner kick of overtime, unable to do anything with that. That was just a slow roller in the box and out of play. Chances have been few and far between here in the second half and overtime for Saline.
Heisler looking for Poole.
Not want those two to get going and starting combining some passes. They're two of the fastest players on the field, if not the fastest.
Pass up to dribble. Can he stay on side?
So the Nationals will play around with this in their back line. Now Muhammad will fire a shot. Kind of bend it a little bit towards Friedholm.
Great effort there, but that shot did bend right into the goalkeeper's arms. That would have kind of tailed away towards one of the goal posts. That could have been a dangerous opportunity, but Saline on the move now. Another great defensive stand by National MACOMB's defense. They have time and time again here in this game. They have more made up for their goal that they conceded off a steal. Kinley Poole unassisted.
Now Ledoux will fire a shot. That's blocked. Just couldn't get enough on it, just off balance.
The defenses of both teams not giving a lot of space.
Sansom. Ball goes towards that back post. That's Zanarski. He'll put it back in the mix. Friedholm's there to grab. 99th in the 100th minute now.
Friedholm has 11 saves, plus that he has snared quite a few crosses into the box, just like we just saw here about 10 seconds ago. Zach Heisler, number 24 for Saline, a little bit frustrated. Thought Thought he earned the corner kick, but that ball did deflect off his right foot. So in the 100th minute, goal kick coming up for Nationals MACOMB.
Coming up next after this game, Detroit City FC Rouge taking on Farmington SC Fury. It's a U14 final. That'll take place right here on this field. Then Liverpool FC International Academy North Oakland will take on MFA Revolution Elite in the U17 boys matchup. It's a foul called.
That's a handball about 5 or 6 yards outside the box, so this is a great opportunity coming up for Saline. The defender actually put his arm up almost intentional, so the yellow card was issued.
Take a look at it here. The ball comes in. Oh, yeah, he almost caught it.
He stuck his arm out to stop that through ball. Saline had numbers on the attack, a player on each side kind of making runs.
It's a good yellow card.
Number 7, Bryce Neidig, kind of trying to slot that ball between a pair of defenders. Nash MACOMB defender stuck his arm out to stop that through ball, picks up the yellow card. But he sets the table for a free kick about 25, 27 yards out for Saline coming up. You are now in the 102nd minute, so you need to put this towards that framework. You're not that far away. Uncork a shot, see what happens.
I believe this is Heisler taking this, number 24. He'll look to fire one through traffic. A low shot.
Again, Heisler was an all-state third-team forward for Saline High School last fall. Very dangerous player, but...
No, that wasn't Heisler, I apologize. It might have been Stephen Reck. So he had his back turned to us. We just couldn't tell. Poole will actually earn a corner now. It's an easy way to do it.
Saline hasn't had a lot of chances since the first 30 minutes, but they've had quite a few corners. This is now the second corner kick of overtime and 9th overall this match coming up for Saline FC. Now 103rd minute.
Still 1-0 as it's in the first overtime in a break now. So at that halfway, as this ball comes in off the corner, it's going to pop up as though Will Loveland was the target, but nope, they're going to say that actually hit off of a Nationals defender.
So corner kick number 12. Excuse me, number 10.
Plus or minus two is always our, as this ball comes in, punched away by Mandranjo. Mandranjo, I apologize. Hummel.
So 104th minute, just still under 2 minutes left in the first overtime session. Again, no golden goals, so they will play 2 15-minute overtimes in total.
Take a 5-minute break. Come right back. Do this again.
Obviously, if a team is up at the end of the second overtime, this game will come to a completion.
We are entitled to our union break here, Dan. Yeah. Right at the
It's a long day of MSYSA State Cup Finals here on the National Soccer Network. A long day of amateur and pre-professional games in over 30 states.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Is this looking at our schedule for today? You know, we've got games in Shreveport, Seattle, Ohio, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. We've got in Virginia, here in Michigan, Oklahoma, Texas, Northern California, Southern California, Arizona. I mean, that's just to name a few. So we're just a little bit over the map, just a little bit.
There are some quality girls soccer state tournament games, not on our network, but taking place here in Michigan and a handful of other states across the country today.
Believe that will end this first overtime, extra time period. It's still 1-1. Still 1-1 here in Saginaw. We head to the second extra time after this.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Welcome back here. We do apologize. They just kind of just started playing. Yeah, we expected at least 5 minutes, but we didn't get that. So, we apologize. I'm going to go ahead and push the clock to this, and we're going to reset. And I don't think we got that long into it, but either way, we do apologize about that. The show must go on, even if they don't tell us. So. And, for full transparency, Dan and I, our team, are not in Saginaw. We are currently snug in our studios here in Shelby Township, Michigan. And our camera operators are out on site. So I stepped away because someone brought in some donuts. They look good, Dan. So
It's a little bit different than playing indoors at the Legacy Sports Center in Brighton when the girls' state cup finals were held last fall. There's kind of a perch, kind of a press box type deal. They're up top, and there's nothing like that here at Saginaw Township Soccer Complex. But there is a corner kick coming up for Nationals MACOMB. They had two in the first half, haven't had one since.
Ball was deep towards that far post, settled down, ball loose, and now Friedholm steps in and makes the grab.
Friedholm not bashful coming off his line. He ran off to his left. Kind of snare that bouncing ball. Too far wide of frame.
It's just one of those things where if you're free at home, we saw that in the second half where that ball, you know, it had an awkward bounce and just kind of popped up, right, and almost went in the back. And then obviously there was a foul that was called too, so it wouldn't have counted. But still, you got to be. I'm assuming he's cognizant of that and has that memory of that moment to make sure that he's paying attention, because that's what we saw in that. In the Stars game where they took the lead. Look at this ball goes in. Down goes Madandra, and Poole was there on the back post.
Heisler sent that ball from the right side into traffic. Saline unable to get a shot off. Once again, they have cooled off. They had far more opportunities in the first 30 minutes of this game, but as that first half wore down and throughout the second half and first overtime, National MACOMB had the better of the chances in this game, as we're now just a couple minutes into the second overtime session. Foul coming up just right at midfield, literally on the line. Coming up for Nationals MACOMB.
Free kick taken by Kolbitz. Into the 18. Well, again, it just makes its way through. This time Dan, we haven't talked a lot about this, but the game of heading has just gotten so much different. You know, you used to have these really, really strong center backs who would have these powerful headers. And look at this now, as Heisler was in that battle, but we don't see those commanding head balls anymore. You don't see center back coming up with command, locking that neck, and just going through it with their forehead to launch a ball out of the back line. And obviously that's indicative of the way the game has changed, especially at the lower levels, right? When you start talking about that U12, U11, right, where heading is not allowed to take place, we're starting to see the impact of that here at these older ages. We were talking about it last year.
Especially I've noticed that on the girls' side.
And again, I mean, it's a byproduct of the safety measures, trying to reduce concussions and injuries to, the developing brains of young athletes. And again, you commend, U.S. Soccer and the governing bodies of all these leagues of making sure they're taking the necessary steps. But the byproduct of that is that the players don't necessarily have the fundamentals maybe they used to have when we were growing up. To go up in the air and win a head ball with command. I mean, now the heading is more finesse, and it's not as what it used to be. As this ball's played in, it's a great ball! And look at that! The Nationals take the lead in the 111th! I believe that was Claypool who got on the end of it. Let's take a look at it here again. The ball comes in, Ledoux. It was Travis Claypool gets a touch, and the Nationals scoring 2 unanswered goals, 1 in the second and now 1 here in the second extra time, have taken the lead.
Both of National MACOMB's goals have come off kind of like sliding shots. Claypool had the assist on the first goal. He gets the go-ahead goal here for Nationals here in the second overtime session.
So Ledoux was involved in the last goal, the first goal as well. He put it by all the top to Claypool. Claypool is the one who played the ball into Joshua Ross, who got the equalizer. And then, so again, both players were involved in the first goal. Both players were involved in the second goal.
Kind of like those hockey type assists where you might not get something in the books in terms of a stat, but you created the chance.
Oh, look at that. What a strike that was. And another shot that saved. Oh, my goodness. Things are starting to heat up here in Saginaw, and it's not the weather.
So for the first time in this game, Saline FC finds himself down a goal here in the second overtime. But another corner kick coming up. Way too much pace and height on that corner kick. You need to serve that into the 6 to try to get something going, and that was just way too much pace on that. So kind of a missed opportunity for SALINE to try to get a shot off to try to create an equalizer. So 114th minute now. Will the Nationals be able to protect their lead and claim a state cup title here today at the Saginaw Township Soccer Complex? Will SALINE FC find enough in the tank to get an equalizer here? They're down to a little bit less than 7 minutes to do so.
All to this near side. Nobody there for either side. All in the 18. They'll work around that back line.
Nationals on the move once again, thanks to that steal outside the box. Now in the 115th minute. Fans that have attended these early morning session games in the State Cup championships have had their money's worth. Both games have gone into extra time. Again, in an adjacent field in the U15 division, the Michigan Wolves and the Michigan Stars are battling in the second overtime session there as well. Stars up 1-0. We are now down to about 5 minutes left in the second overtime.
There's about 5 minutes to go as this ball will make its way out of touch.
SALINE pushing a multitude of players up, trying to find a way to get a shot off, trying to find a way to get an equalizer here late in the second overtime session.
All cleared up and out. That is launched into space.
SALINE has gone to the outside. They have gone down the middle. They are trying everything they can do to solve this defense here. They did score a goal early in the game, but they have been nullified here in the waiting minutes of the first half, throughout the second half, first overtime and the second overtime. Down to about 3.5 minutes left here to get that equalizer. Foul against Nationals, and now a yellow card given to the Nationals. A player ran in front of that free kick. Another stoppage of time. You think you're going to kill off time by getting a yellow card, the referee is still going to stop the time, so he will add extra time on to the extra session. But opportunities and time are waning for Saline. They must put this into the mixing bowl to get a shot off.
About everybody, but he's out of position. And the Stars might just have to send one from deep. No, Wilson.
118th minute. And 2 unanswered goals from the Nationals, one in the second half in the 58th minute, and then another one here in this second extra time period in the 111th minute. Both these 8:30 games have gone into overtime, so even though I'm just going to next time I'm just going to mention and put in the I'm going to put it out there because I said I remember things very vividly, but I did not actually put it out there. I kind of assumed it and kind of it's like almost like you don't talk about a no hitter right during the middle of the game. Maybe we should change that to start talking about things during the game so they actually do happen, Dan, or they don't happen. I don't know, but but this happened to us in the spring, in the fall too. Both of the opening games that morning went into penalty shootouts. So,
regardless of what level of soccer I cover, shootouts always seem to follow me everywhere.
Now, granted, this one right where it's at right now, for some reason my score's not been updated.
Or at least games that go into double overtime.
Let's update our score because it is 2-1. So let's make sure I had this score. I guess I didn't realize that wasn't updated, so we made that sure. And this one comes in now on the cross. Heisler was there. Ball played now. Look at this shot, but that's from Poole. Goes right into the hands. Oh, look at that collision. And that is going to be a foul. I got to take a look at this, Dan, because I felt like for a second that Madranja, there's something called parrying. You're not allowed to parry it, so he was supposed to catch this ball. Now, here's the thing. We're going to take another look at this one.
They issued a yellow card to Saline and a yellow card to MACOMB.
Well, here comes this ball, right? So we need to look at this again because the ball comes in and the shot, right? So it's played low, and, Poole takes this, but this could have been caught. That's called a parry. That was a parry. And obviously running into him was Loveland, but I don't blame the goalkeeper, Madranja to protect himself. But if you are able to catch the ball as a goalkeeper, you are supposed to catch it, right? So he intentionally put that ball down on the ground in front of him like that. And by doing that, he's doing it to waste time. But we know that's what he's doing.
Right. Any second he can do to waste, he's trying to protect a lead, and we just crossed into stoppage time on the end of the second overtime. But you're correctly right. He had a chance to scoop that ball up 2 yards in front of the goal. I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't risk letting that ball because I've seen it hundreds of times where a defender or a goalkeeper does that. A player gets a touch on it, and the ball's in the back of the net.
But again, we are officially in stoppage time here. Clay Poole scored that goal back in the 111th. Nationals here and Saline fighting for a chance to play in the regionals. Saline SC looking for some magic here on this Saturday morning.
So free kick coming out for Nationals. They are going to stall as much time off the clock. The referee keeps looking at his watch.
I'm going to say maybe the offside on that far side.
Only the second offsides of this entire game. Here in the 122nd minute. You can see that fatigue has definitely taken over. Players are not as energized as they were a couple hours ago, understandably so.
Waning moments of this state championship. Good battle. The referee will bring that one back.
122 minutes in. Referee been looking at his stopwatch here for the last few minutes.
Again, the Region 2 Midwest Regionals will take place in Overland Park, Kansas this summer. They'll take place starting on Friday, June 20th. So just a few weeks from now. So
3 weekends, yep.
And tryouts for these teams are like in 2 weeks. So it's like you go to tryouts and then might not even have the same team. And look at that. They have blown the final whistle, and the Nationals have won the state championship for the U19 age group.
Play a through ball on the end line sent out from the Stars. We might see one more opportunity for the Wolves.
I mean, talking about, Dan, how they were able to come back in this one. They were down 1-0 going into the halftime break. They found a way in the second half to get one in. And just like that, the Nationals are state champions here.
It looked like about in the 30th, 35th minute, it was like a flick of the switch where the Nationals, MACOMB got going. They started to pepper the net. They're late in the first half. They dominated a lot of the second half in both overtime periods, and they walk off 2025. Boys Premier U18, U19 Division State Champions.
That they were. We'll take a look here at how the game kind of played out here with some replays. Dan, and again, it started right here. Kinley Poole fired that shot. And then again, this is the equalizer. Ledoux into Claypool, into Ross. Nothing but net. And here's the game winner. This is what is sending the Nationals into Overland Park, Kansas. For our production crew, I want to thank you all for stopping by here this Saturday morning. We got more games coming up here all day long, so don't go anywhere. We got more State Cup from Saginaw coming up here. For Dan Stickrat, I'm Jonathan Turner. Have a great rest of your day. So long, everybody.